Meow meow, everybody. It's blueprints time. And let's see what we've got today. So if I remember correctly, yesterday we did some good stuff. We got the trading post and exploded it, so it gave us some money. And we bought a book, and that might be all we actually did. I still have this. I might start looking to replace this guy. What would I replace him with on the superpower list? There's a few. But I also want to get one more torch and or burning glass and then get the tomb. That is important to me as well. So we're going to want some dice and we're going to want the armory to appear. And then maybe we find the rooms for the, the chess pieces anyway. Den's always a good start. So there's going to be a gem in there when I need it. Guest bedroom is good here. Closet's good here. Workshop is also good here. These are all good choices. What would be best choice for me? Workshop, maybe? Yeah, let's push this out a bit. And then if there's a dead end after it, that's totally fine. Get a sledgehammer out of that. Nothing I can do with it, of course. Now a closet's fine. A spare room's also fine. Let's put a chapel here. And then maybe that's sort of our point we go through. Maybe we do this and then we make some dead ends down here and then those corners. Planetarium's not going to have anything in it for me right now. Hallway is good here. Can't open the trunk. Oh, no, I can. I have a sledgehammer. I was going to say I don't have any keys, but I can just take this. That's a good start. Alright, let's put some dead ends in. More important to get the observatory, in my opinion. 28 stars. It's going to give me this. So I want to draft green rooms because it's going to give me extra gems. That's good enough. Now I can put a dead end in here. Ah, there's the good old attic. That's why you use the axe on the attic, my friends. We have a gem. We've found the attic before, right? Yeah, we found this letter, so we have been here. Any other places? By the way, you can actually fit in this spot. You might not even think to check. You can fit here, but I don't see any items. I do see this, though. This is the security again. This is the same image from the safe house, which had an A here and said delete it. Now it's just scribbled out, and there's an O there. Or a 0. Probably an O if that's an A. Okay, let's hold on to that information. Broken lever. Okay. Sledgehammer, broken lever. Now we just need a battery pack, and I could do a power hammer thing today. Another safe deposit box. So this is the third time I've gotten a safe deposit box with no vault. So we're going to look for a vault today, too. No guarantees on that. Maybe think about the chess puzzle, too. Because I don't necessarily need this anymore. It makes it easier for me to get something to light candles on fire with, but it's not that important. I think I've got all the items in here. I don't think there's anything else. I got the metal detector, so it's not beeping. Yeah, okay. Saxophone player earning his money here. Dead end here is also good. As a reminder of my map, I've got 2 paths out of here, and I can just make all this dead end stuff. Get them out of my inventory. Let's check out these ones. We got another gem here. Conservatory would also not go unappreciated. Do I want nursery? Let's take this. There's probably going to be an item in here, and it'll mean I want to draft some more bedrooms. Hey, there's dice. Okay, so now all I need is the candle thing. So either a magnifying glass or an armory. One of the two will do this. Don't want secret passage because it's going to cut into where the chapel is. What I do want to do is sneeze. I don't know what it is about recording here that makes me want to sneeze. But I have the sneezes. More dice. Okay. Closet is good here, so let's do that. Let's get these dead ends out of my way. Coin purse, maybe I could go for the bookshop again. I would have to get a library, which isn't, you know, difficult. And I don't have anything I can make yet. Yeah, I'm very close, but I don't have anything I can make. Well, I do. I could put the metal detector and the lockpick together. I think I've done that before, but I don't want to waste that in case I get a magnifying glass. Now, this is facing kind of the wrong way. Commissary. No, I'm going to take this. Because I think the magnifying glass is in here. Yeah! Okay, we're good. Shovel's good. You know what? I'm feeling good. Let's buy this place out. Almost bought out. I'm out of money now, but I have... Okay, now I'm out of money. There's one gem left. I'll come back with more money. No, what I'm going to do now is draft the tomb. And use this. So now I definitely don't need the armory ever again. So, to finish the chess puzzle, to get a different power, I would need to find... So I have a bishop. I have 2 bishops already. I have a knight. I have a pawn. There's pawns in like all these rooms. So I would need a rook. So the nook has a rook. What else has a rook? I don't know if I've seen another one. The armory has a knight. Queen is going to be the tricky one. But a study is now a more common room. I made the study more common. And the king, I would have to get an office. So office is what I'd be hinging this whole run on. But that is okay. Let's just start by getting the tomb and at least solve one puzzle today. That at least will happen. You know what I did not do yesterday, now that I think about it? I forgot to take care of the upgrade disk. I had a whole upgrade disk and I never put it in a computer. So what's going to happen is if next time I draft the trading post, it'll be in there. So it's more important to do this right now. The trading post will always be there. I don't need to blow up the dynamite again. But I do need to use the burning glass when I have an opportunity. Oh, it's right here. Uh-huh. Ah. Well, there's another upgrade disc here anyway, so it's fine. These dice will be here every time. So every time we draft the tomb, we get 4 dice. So we have our 7 angels. Do I know their names yet? I don't remember that one. So we have Vea. Bunch of stuff. So these candles can't be lit. They have to be the candles with those like red jewels set in them. We have the pizza peel. That's Joya, I think, from the lunchbox. Excuse me. The broom is Mila. This riding crop lady is somebody. That's Orinda. There's nothing there. Is that all of them? Then there's Rinna, the gardener. Yeah. I think that's all. Oh, there's more candles here. Ah, this is going to be where Lady Clara Epsen was buried. The rose there. Oh. Diary key. Well, that makes sense. That would be for her diary. So now we would have to draft her ladyship's chamber. So this is kind of tricky to get because you have to get both the tomb and the ladyship's chamber on the same day, and the chamber is pretty hard to get. You can only get it drafting southward on the west side, and it's a rare room. So I don't know if we'll get it today, but we can always try. Aurel de... Oh, no. No, I don't know what that says. Lorja Eldiris, Old George. You know what? Forget it. Just take a mental note that we got some gibberish on here, and we'll come back later. So this is a rotator. We want purple. Purple is the one that moves down. How would I do this one? I want to spread these out a bit, or move 2 of these. Like if I do this, that spreads it out, and then I do this and those spread out, and now, okay, that's how you do it. Yay, more allowance. I have how much now? 28? Yeah, 28. So yeah, diary key. If we don't find her ladyship's chamber, the diary key comes back to here, so we need to draft both the tomb and her bedroom on the same day. Tomb we can guarantee with a couple of dice, but that's as far as we can get. Now, having 5 dice does help. I could just try to draft her room. Also, her room has a queen in it, which helps me with the chess puzzle. Yeah. So... yeah, let's head back in and see what we can draft. I would say the day is already somewhat of a success just from that. If I manage to get more money, I could go to the bookshop, but I would really need to find some money. I do have the coin purse, which helps. Vault would be nice to find. So yeah, I have a few options left for the day. I don't want to just give up yet. Let's see what we got. This direction. Security, kind of facing the wrong way. Nook is definitely the wrong way. But whatever, we'll take this. Actually, now, let's look at the security designs here. So we had this set of rooms, computers, and that had an A on it, and that's the archives, and it says delete it. This one, yes, this one had an O on it, and that's the office, which starts with O, and that's A for archives. So let's see. Let's actually look at all these computers. This is the spare room. That's an S. This is the walk-in closet. It's not the regular closet. It's a bigger one. Walk-in closet is a W. This is the archives A. This is the Nook. That's an N. Swan. This is the storeroom. That's S. This is the office O. This is the nursery N. This is the gallery. That's a G. Swan song. So that's just the password to the computer. So look at that. That's another way to get the password for the computer. But let's continue because there were also these 3. This is just a hallway. This is security where we are. And that's the showroom. HSS. Swan song HSS. Let's try that. Hold on, upgrade disk. We'll get to you in a second. Oh, that's accepted too. So that password's staring you in the face the whole game, and you just have to figure out that cipher. I mean, the 2 notes we found help. But if you're thinking, dang, I never would have found this. How am I supposed to solve this puzzle? The good news is what we find here actually is not like necessary. You can solve all the other puzzles without it, but it does give us a hint. So we can look at the security footage from 1987. So for instance, if we look at the security footage in the library, we're going to see this fascinating coverage any second now. That's a person in the library. We can't make out who it is from here. But that's probably Herbert in the top right. That's my guess. Alright, nothing's really happening. He's given a book to the person in the chair. They're pointing something out from the book. It's kind of hard to make out, but it looks like they're just reading stuff together. so that tape was not very useful. We didn't get much from that one. Any minute now. Thank you, game. Let's try this one. This was the same day, February 9th at noon, so like an hour later. And this is, of course, 1987, so it's 6 years ago. It's nearly 7 years ago in game time. Where is this shot from? Because the pillar in the way, that is it. Can you get behind that up there? Okay. Alright, there's somebody walking around with... Is that a vase? What is that? These security cameras are ass. What is that? It's got like 2 frames an hour. Ah, well, that is not very helpful either. So is this the stuff that they said delete it? Or has that stuff already been deleted? That's also possible. Now, let's remember as well, the year 1987 was the year that my mother disappeared. So this, I have a chance of seeing Mary Matthew Jones here. Let's check the security. Okay. Yeah, that's her. That's Mary. Huh. She seems to really want us to see that. What is that? So the bottom of the symbol is now cut off, but it looks like from that like area on the left of the page it goes up and then curves right-ish, then it kind of has this sort of round the corner at the top and then down. It does a little loop at the bottom. So that could be a route of some kind. That could, I don't know how I'd make that route through the house because it curves. That could be the shape of something for a different puzzle. But that's something we clearly want to remember, so let's hold on to that. And in fact, this is the thing that you're supposed to do this puzzle for to get into the security tapes, but I solved the puzzle related to it without this. You don't need it at all, but it is a little bit of extra guidance if you figure out what it's connected to. Which I'll cover that when we get to that puzzle, but we have not got to that puzzle. None of the other years are going to have footage on them. That's actually not true. There's one other year of footage on it, but we're not going to watch any of it because I don't feel like it. So yeah, we're not here. Which year is it? 91. I don't think it's anything until 1993. Let me check. Footage not found. So yeah, it was all deleted after. So there probably was footage of them planning their heist. 1993, we get to see footage. So Parlor, this is going to be the repeat of the will, the very first cutscene of the game. This is going to be a repeat of the cutscene when we first entered the security room, and then these are going to be repeats of Alzara's predictions. So there's more room for Alzara predictions here, as well as a couple other cutscenes in the game. Yeah. So that's all. That's all that puzzle was for. It's just a little bit of extra fun if you figure that one out. Let's put the upgrade disc in and see what we get. I'll have to remember the trading post one too. Alright, what do we get? Mailroom! Alright, so all of these are good for different reasons, but I have a favorite. So same day delivery. This means if you draft the mailroom, they go to rank 8, there's going to be a package that day. So that kind of removes the downside of the mailroom being you have to wait a day and you have to plan ahead. You just get the thing on the day you get the mailroom, which is kind of nice. No contact delivery also removes the stipulation of having to draft it twice in a row, because you don't get the package on the day, you do get it tomorrow, but it will be in the entrance hall, so you don't have to worry about what rooms you draft. And you can draft a mailroom a second time a day in a row. Like, right now, if you draft the mailroom, you have to come back the next day and draft it and then get the package. But it doesn't order another one. You would have to draft on a third day to order another package. Both of these mean you could theoretically draft the mailroom every day and get a package. We also have freight shipping, a very large package, but it takes 3 days to arrive. Now the thing is, there is at no point that I am completely reliant on the mailroom. So I am not worried about waiting days. I am not planning for particular days with the mailroom. It's just an extra bonus. Because it's just an extra bonus to me, it does not matter when the package arrives. So I personally prefer the freight shipping, because then on the day it does arrive, the amount of stuff that's going to be in it is so much that it basically takes care of my item needs. Because here it's just going to be like a couple keys, a couple gems, maybe one special item. This, I've gotten like 4 special items and 5 keys from this before. It's really, really good. Yeah, you gotta wait 3 days. But the thing is, like, if I do 3 days of this in a row, the amount of items put together might equal what this is. But you can't carry items over from day to day, so it's still only a third as useful on the day that you get it. This is more useful even though you get it fewer days. So I personally go for freight shipping. Yeah, you gotta plan ahead a bit. But again, I don't ever use the mailroom specifically for a particular day. I always just take it. So, if I see the mailroom, then I know 3 days from now, if I'm still struggling on a puzzle, I want to get the mailroom and it'll help me with that puzzle. Alright, this should turn left. Sure, why not? Don't want to solve it yet because it's only 2, but I'll take this wind-up key. Oh, hold on. Let me actually use the computer for what it's supposed to be for. 5 coins, whatever. Those coins will be in the tomb. Keycard system settings. We're going to turn the security level up. I think I have the keycard on me, so this is not necessary, but in case like Satan comes into the game and then takes my card from me magically. Let's go back here, log into the network with the other password. We don't ever have to go back to the security password again. Staff services. Now, what item would I want to be getting? Because I don't need to be getting burning glass anymore. So what item would be most important? Sledgehammer is used for the power hammer, but the other 2 things I can't order. Sledgehammer is pretty easy to find. It's the other 2 things I really need. Let's say sleeping mat. I'm just gonna say I don't know what I'm picking here, so I'm just picking an item. Sleeping mask is one of the underappreciated gems of the game, so. Laboratory, let's get an experiment going. Every time that the person playing the game sneezes, add 2 to my allowance. If you draw the drawing from the chest, game thing. Well, none of these are exciting to me. Why would I want a ton of aquariums? I mean, if you have the sleeping mask, all of them are plus 5 steps. Trying to eat an apple. But seriously, what am I looking for now? Sanctum keys. The vault is really what I want to find. Let's just do this. This is not my favorite selection of things. Greenhouse? Greenhouse will have an item in it. Reading nook will lead me to the library, though, and I do want the library, because I now bought the new book. And we'll check it out. The light goes the wrong way. Do I care that much? Yeah, I care that much. I want it to go the right way. Boiler room, I could potentially get the pump room puzzle done. Which I think I should go for. Oh, I can't do that because this needs to be set up. Let's take this that way. No, let's take it straight because that's actually, sorry, that's the way I want to go. This way. Darn, dark room is actually a good one to put in here, but it still will trip the breaker. Oh, hold on, I haven't made the pool yet. I haven't made the pool, so there's no way for me to get the pump room. Duh, I need the pool first. Okay, in that case, this is what I want. Oh, that heads to the back of the thing. That was actually not what I wanted. I'm gonna head back to the passageway and try to get the pool first, as well as the... Oh. This is... No, because this is coming out that way. The guest bedroom is the choice here. Car keys again, which is useless to me. I'm not going to be making a garage ever. So, this was kind of a waste. I could play this game now. It's worth 3 gems, but I'm going to come back later maybe with more. I'm doing good on steps. I bought everything at the commissary. Break room is good. Vault would be nice too. I could just get that. It's supposed to be a standard room, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. 10 minus 241 is minus 7. That's 3 times 2 is 6. 10 divided by 1 is not going to do anything. Minus 7 is 3 times 6 is 18. 16 plus 14 is 30. Minus 10 is 20. Minus 15 is 5. Alright. Let's just make this a hallway. Or a courtyard. Courtyard's good too. There's a chance I could get the ladyship's chamber from here. But the best way to get that is to make sure I've drafted as many other rooms as possible to clear out the draft pool. Know what I mean? West Wing Hall's good here. I really want the pool is what I want. Patio's fine. Pantry's fine. Let's try the patio. Armory. Don't need that anymore. I'd prefer this to go a different direction, actually. None of these go the right direction. Oh, office, though. If I get the office and then the study, or the ladyship's chamber, I now have all the pieces, right? Wait, do I have a rook? Yes, rook in the nook. So this would mean I'd be giving up on my pump room plans. And the dark room would be a tricky one. Let's spread gold throughout the estate. Who knows, that might come in handy. Probably not, because I'd have to go find that gold. It's not going to be like in a conference room. Coat check. Is there an item that I won't want to check? Maybe the diary key if I don't get the room? Maybe the vault key if I don't get that room? Let's make it here. And then... Ooh boy. Ooh boy! Also, I didn't grab that. If I draft down there, I would need to get lucky with the ladyship's chamber. I'm going to draft it later. Yeah, I still don't want to play this game. I have a lot of gems. There's no reason for me to play it for only 3. I'd want to play it for way more than that. I will have to blind draft, which means I could end up not getting anything and then kind of just having to use my coat check anyway. 2 gems. It's not going to be the vault. The vault is 3 gems. I remember that. Is this going to be a dead end, though? These could be dead ends. They could also be red rooms. I don't want those. So I'm going to take this and hope it's good. Oh, it's not. It's going to take me there. But are either of these good? No. Okay, so now what I'm hoping for is either a study or a ladyship's chamber from here. Ladyship's chamber is the better choice. A vault, I'll also take a vault. The other 2 things also solve the chess puzzle, but a vault will also be good for other reasons. I have to sneeze again. Good grief, what's going on today? Am I sick? I don't feel sick yet, but I could be. It's always good to get sick on your day off. That was sarcasm, by the way. I hate getting sick on my day off. Alright, what we're going to want is a ladyship's chamber. So, redraw. Hell yeah! We're going to look at the diary and do the chess puzzle. And put the coat check, put the vault key in the coat check. Her ladyship's sleep diary. She writes in this while she's sleeping. My dear diary, from 1979. It's old. After countless sleepless nights and failed home remedies, my physician has urged me to document my sleeping routines in the various bedrooms of our estate. It is his hope that by tracking the caliber and length of my sleep in each room, together we may come to a deeper understanding of my condition and perhaps with luck find a more favorable environment in which I might finally find some amount of rest. Clara. Signing her diary. That's cute. My dear diary. To begin, I thought it best to start with my own room, despite already knowing how unsuitable it has been for my sleep of late. Perhaps it is all the old memories that linger here. As it is impossible not to think of home among so many mementos of my youth, nonetheless I find comfort in gazing at the stars before dozing off. Right, there's a glass ceiling here. And it pains me to consider that if this trial is successful, it may be one of the final occasions that I sleep here. Clara. My room. Sleep duration 2.5 hours. Quality peaceful despite brevity. Observable effects. I awoke the following morning with 10 less steps, but also observed additional star in the sky. So if I call it a day in this room, tomorrow I have 10 less steps, so I'll have 60 instead of 70. But I will gain a star. That's what that does. Dearest Diary, last night I retired to the guest room as I have yet to gain the courage to ask anyone to surrender their room to me. Even for a night. This bedroom is a cozy space, normally reserved for guests staying the weekend. However, I found despite having a choice between 2 beds that neither proved to be very comfortable. I must speak with Herbert about this as our guests deserve at the very least as much comfort in their stay as we have. So guest bedroom, 4 hours, very fragmented, it reflects nothing special. Yeah, so if you call it a day here, nothing happens. My dear diary, it was strange to sleep in the childhood room of my late husband. The room was just as I had imagined it from the stories he told me of growing up with an elder brother. Herbert informed me that the room has remained untouched, almost identical to when they both occupied it. Oh, so it's not my room. Like the diary I saw between Simon and Herbert, that wasn't me and my brother. That was my grandfather and his brother. So Herbert was... So my grandfather also liked the color red because he wrote everything in red. That was why I thought it was me, is that the diary that was in here had red, was drawn in red, which I'm the Red Prince. I thought that was me. Uh-huh. Herbert informed me the room has remained untouched, almost identical to when they both occupied it. To avoid any accidents, I slept in the bottom bunk, as climbing ladders is not as easy as it used to be. Despite my exhaustion, my thoughts of Simon kept me up through most of the night. Twice the usual sleep, quality 2 times as restless. Observable, next morning I went to the family tomb to visit his grave, and was surprised to find a flower already laid. What this will do is it'll put a flower that has a gem in the tomb, so you get an extra gem the next day, if you draft a tomb. I could not bring myself to ask Hartley directly if I could borrow his room for my sleep study. The mere thought of it was mortifying. Instead, I decided to roll the die, as he often puts it, and wait for his night off. To sneak into his room to nap, the experience of sleeping in a servant's room was thrilling. Weird. But the fear of getting caught was overwhelming. Also weird. Every little noise startled me, and I couldn't manage to sleep for more than a few moments, fearing Hartley would return at any time. Also, like, you own the house. You could just tell Hartley to fuck off. Sleep duration, perhaps an hour. Quality terrible. Effects by half the steps. Yeah, so don't call it a day here if you lose half your steps. I discovered a stray die had found its way into my pocket. So you start with an extra ivory die, but that's not worth it to me. It's easy enough to get ivory dice. My dear diary. She's really doing this quick. It's been like a week she's gone to all these rooms. I have to confess that I was initially hesitant to spend the night in the Baron's room. It's extravagantly showy, with every surface adorned with the gold and every piece of furniture so large it seems almost comical, but as I lay down on the enormous bed, I was surprised to find I felt entirely at ease. Even the absurdly oversized pillows were somehow more comfortable, propping me up just right so I didn't feel any strain on my neck or back. I slept more soundly than I have here in weeks, and I woke up feeling genuinely rested for the first time in what feels like forever. 8 whole hours best. I awoke feeling very fresh, more energy, more steps than normal. So if you end the day here, you start the next day with extra steps. Great. As fate would have it, just as I've begun to make progress in my quest of slumber, a most joyous event has interrupted my progress. My beloved daughter's given birth to a son. Oh, so my birthday's the 28th, huh? Requested my presence in town to assist her during this exciting but demanding time. For now, I should take my leave of the bedrooms of Mount Holly, but I am certain, dear diary, that one day I shall return. Lady Clara Epsen, grandmother. Neat. This is the outer room, right? Because that's the bridge through the west path. And that's the antechamber. That's what the antechamber looks like. Why is the antechamber outside? Right? That's the antechamber. Cool. Well, the diary just gives us some hints about bedrooms we can do. So if we ever call it a day in a bedroom, well, not all of the bedrooms, but some of them will abuse our step count in exchange for something like a star or a die or a gem. I never personally find it worth it, so I never do that. The master bedroom might be the most worthwhile, but as long as I have the potential for a key card, why would I not end the day in the break room? So chess puzzle wise, will I have enough steps? Hold on. I have 23, 22, 19, 18. I go down to the chess puzzle. I think I have enough to get back to the coat check and deposit the vault key. So let's give it a shot. Hopefully I do have enough. It's not the most important because vault keys will come back. I can get them again. I can't make any more items, I don't think. If only I could make this thing. I'd need a battery pack. If only I could do that. I would, and then I would use the power hammer. But alas, I cannot. Am I going to sneeze again? I might sneeze again. You're welcome. Okay. Chess puzzle time. Let's see if I remember the rooms I have. Yeah, I want to break this guy down. Okay, I'll figure out a way. So, bishop should be here. Here. Thank you. Rook should be there. Queen is going to be here. King is going to be there. Nope, there. Knight is going to be here, and the pawn's going to be there. Nice. Choose your piece. So, we're going to say goodbye to the knight. We don't need it. The pawn ability, I'm going to say no to that. Like, yes, I could do any other ability, but I have to get to rank 8 each day, so I can't use it immediately. And some of these are best if you start with the day with them. The king, or sorry, queen, I don't like this. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, sure, I can gain keys, but I'm not really having trouble with keys anymore. There might be some days I have trouble, but right now I'm not really struggling, and I don't want to lose steps for that. The king is a good power, but not yet. I'm not at the point I need that. The bishop, yeah, I gained 30 coins. This is good if I need to buy stuff, but my allowance is getting high enough that I already start with quite a bit of coins every day. I find this kind of one of the weaker powers anyway. I tried it at my first run through, and I found that it did help me with one day I wanted to buy stuff, but if I was just a little more patient, I would have had a day where I got it without this power. You may draw floor plans up to 4 times of drafting the 4 corner rooms. This is good if I'm looking for particular rooms, which I am right now. So I'm going to take this power. Now, it seems weird because it's only the corner rooms. But there's a couple things I really want with this. Number 1, conservatory. This will basically guarantee a conservatory every day. 2, the vault. I'm going to be much more likely. I don't need to worry about dice. I just have this. So I'm going to take the rook. And unlike the knight's power, it doesn't rely on me getting a particular room. Like, there's some days I just don't draft the armory, and so the knight's power is useless. Whereas, if I have the rook power, I guarantee I have 4 locations on the map. I could just go ham and get the room I want. Yeah, I can use dice to reroll, but 16 dice? I get 16 free dice every day? Yeah. Of course I'm going to do that. There might be another room I'm looking for if I'm thinking of the sanctum keys. So the rook is the best way to get those rooms. The king is also a good one in the sense that you pick a color and then rooms are more likely, but it doesn't let you re-roll. It just is more likely, and if you're looking for blue rooms, it's tricky because there's so many of them that making them more likely is not exactly helpful. Or at least not when you're looking for one particular room at this point in the game. It will become more helpful later, so I'll switch out the rook power for something later. Let's get to the coat check. Thought I was going to sneeze. I might actually still sneeze. Yep. Still going to sneeze. Great. That was fun. I enjoy this. I might actually be sick. That's the worst. Okay, do I have enough to make it to the coat check and back to the break room? That's the question for the ages. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yes, it is. It is exactly enough steps. Okay. Alright, let's put the vault key in there. Because now I can use the rook to make the vault way more likely. One more. And that's the day. We're calling it in the break room, so I keep my key card as well. And that's the day, everyone. What else did we do? Just making sure. So we took care of the tomb things. We got the diary key and the ladyship's chamber on the same day, which was very lucky. Although that didn't really give us anything needed to solve a puzzle. It was just extra stuff. And prepping for the vault to solve the chess puzzle again. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good day. Still not getting any luck on the sanctum keys, but we'll figure that out later. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been QW, and you've been whoever you are. Have a good one. Bye.